Today we will be discussing the Scarlet Letter written by Nathaniel Hawthorne. Scarlet Letter is indeed the apex and the cornerstone of Hawthorne's genius. The success of the book is all the more remarkable if we remember the background against which it was written and completed. Dismissal from a job, illness in the family, the death of his beloved mother, personal illness, and financial insecurities. So we can say Hawthorne was marred by troubles when he wrote this novel or fiction. A part of this gloomy situation is recorded in the Custom House, the introductory to the Scarlet Letter, and an important document in Hawthorne's biography. His genius rose to its full stature in these trying circumstances and triumphed over them. The popular notion of Hawthorne as a man of low energy and drive ought to be dispelled by the realization of his personal heroism in the hour of his trial. Perhaps the Scarlet Letter aroused in Hawthorne his deepest creative urges, and that may be the reason why he was never again so successful. As he wrote to his publisher, the Scarlet Letter being all in one tone, I had only to get my pitch and could then go on interminably. More than a classroom text, the Scarlet Letter is burning with a depth and passion, although well controlled, that very few great books have. His personal suffering at this phase of his life, we are sure, contributed no less to this memorable book. That Hawthorne was never a very extensive writer. By this we mean that his subject matter was limited and narrow, is freely granted even by his greatest admirers. In the Scarlet Letter, he hit a pitch and achieved an intensity that only the greatest writers achieve. The prim Puritan of Salem, as he has been called, there achieved a theme which keeps old men and women from their fire and children from their play. A myth, an archetype, a theme of universal importance. D.H. Lawrence, in his essay on Nathaniel Hawthorne and the Scarlet Letter, recognizes the mythopoetic powers of the book when he says that the civilized and polite Hawthorne found a terrible subject of passion and betrayals in the book, a subject that has an appeal for our subconscious minds. It is a deep, even a profound book with various appeals for various readers because of the depth and richness of the book. It has many layers upon layers of meaning, like layers and layers of an onion. This is so because the writer has put so much of himself into the book. If the passions at the bottom of the story give Scarlet Letter their depth and their appeal to our subconscious minds, it is the symbol A, which is the center of the book, with its many meanings that could be called multivalence. Hawthorne exploited the symbol of this Scarlet Letter as he never again would. The symbol of the decaying house in the House of Seven Gables is fairly successful, but not so successful as is the symbol of the Scarlet Letter. Hawthorne's mind is not preoccupied with the symbol of the house as it with symbol of the Scarlet Letter A. Neither the Blithedale romance nor the Marble Fawn can arouse any deep sympathy from Hawthorne's mind, and therefore none from the reader either. Therefore, the Scarlet Letter remains not only Hawthorne's first but also his best novel. The theme of Scarlet Letter is one with which engaged Hawthorne's imagination all his life. It is the theme of a lonely individual in a society which is more often than not inimical or hostile to him or her. To this theme is related the subsidiary theme of the individual cut off from what Hawthorne himself described as the magnetic charm of humanity. In his short story, Ethenbrand, written in 1851 and printed in the Snow Image 1852. Very often, the reasons for this alienation or separation from society are intellectual pride, artistic isolation, sin, or any other or any one of the religious allegorical reasons. In the Scarlet Letter, it is adultery, the original sin, the breaking of the seventh of the Ten Commandments of Christianity, which is the source of Hester Prynne, the heroine's isolation from society, while Arthur Dimmesdale, the hero's isolation is due to his secret sense of guilt and shame, and Roger Chillingworth, the villain's isolation is due to his desire for revenge, which had better be left to Providence or God. We must remember, however, that the alleged sin had concluded that Hawthorne is not interested as much in the sin as in the effect of the sin. The effects are mainly psychological in Arthur Dimmesdale, the hero's case, but only partially so in Hester Prynne and Hester Prynne, the heroine's case, and practically not at all so in Roger Chillingworth, the villain's case. It is upon the suffering of the sinners, Hester and Arthur Dimmesdale, that Hawthorne turns his attention and not the act of sin. As a critic has said, the Scarlet Letter is not merely the study of a singular fall from grace, it is an artistic elaboration of how one sin or flaw affects not only the participants but also the onlookers. At the same time, the Scarlet Letter is a historical novel.